Good day, future doctors and medical technologies. So welcome back again to another lecture in MTLOS. So my name is Sir Neil. Today we're going to talk about clinical laboratory law, also known as the Republic Act 4688, as well as the Administrative Order 2021-0037. Okay, so let's start with your 4688. So remember, there are at least 8 sections involved in your Republic Act 4688. So section 1, it entails all laboratories should be licensed and regulated by the DOH, except government labs doing minimum laboratory exam. Okay, so as you can see, there is a separation, no, between the government labs, provided that they are doing minimum laboratory exam. For the section 2, entails licensed physicians should be in charge of the laboratories. For section 3, DOH BRL is the one in charge with the implementation of this act and to ensure rules and regulations. So that is for the section 3. If you're going to ask what section to which you can find the one in charge in implementation ng Republic Act 4688, it is found or located in section 3, and that is the DOH BRL. Under section 4, you can see the punishment for the violators, no, ranging from 1 month to 1 year imprisonment to 1,000 to 5,000 pesos fine. Okay, for section 5, here enclosed is the separability clause. Okay, section 6, 50,000 from the National Treasury are appropriated to carry out this act. Okay, so ibig sabihin yan yung budget niya, no? As well as for section 7, section 8, as well as yung ating date of approval is also indicated in the Republic Act 4688, no? The date of approval of this is June 18, 1966. So as you can see, guys, no, that the RA 4688 only has 8 sections, no? So it needs, kumbaga, kung titignan natin na it's quite short, no, and it's quite dili siya ing ana ka detailed when it comes to what are the qualifications of some things, no? Tinawag lang siyang clinical laboratory law. Okay, so medyo ambiguous siya. That's why we have the Administrative Order 2021-0037. Here, dito yung makita yung new rules and regulation governing the regulation of clinical laboratories in the Philippines. Okay, so makita ninyo dito, guys, yung mga bago, no, as well as mga bagong guidelines, no, bagong rules and regulation. So mas latest po ang ating administrative order kasi nga 2021 siya na italaga, no, -0037. Okay, so since it governs the clinical laboratories, no, let's ask what is a clinical laboratory. When we say clinical laboratory, it refers to the facility that is involved in letter A, pre-analytical, letter B, analytical, and letter C, post-analytical procedure. So, yung tatlo, you have the pre, the ana, as well as the post. Okay, where tests are done on specimens from the human body to obtain information about the health status of a patient for the prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of the certain diseases. Okay? So, yan ang clinical laboratory. It means, no, lahat ng procedure from the pre-analytical down to the post-analytical that is involved in a clinical laboratory. If your facility is doing this, no, it can be considered a clinical laboratory. Remember, no, we want to obtain information about the health status of patient, diba? It can be for prevention, no, it can be for the diagnosis, or it can be for the treatment of the disease. Okay, so we have certain bases, no, kung saan ang pinagmumulan ng ating how do we define clinical laboratory. Okay, number 1, no, na basis natin is the RA 4688, or also known as the Clinical Laboratory Law of 1966. Okay? So remember, Clinical Laboratory Law was signed noong 1966 pa. So sa tingin ba ninyo yung the laboratories that are being to again, meron nung time na to is still applicable today. So that's why we have certain AOs, no, that can give new rules and regulation depende kung ano yung mga applicable sa panahon natin ngayon. But during this time, no, clinical laboratory services play an important roles in the diagnosis, treatment, prevention, and control of disease. Clinical laboratories must generate accurate, precise, and reliable result. Of course naman, no, even when back then, no, who would want a accurate, precise, and reliable result, diba? Okay, so we also have the Administrative Order 2007-0027, which is the revised rules and regulation governing the licensure and regulation of the clinical laboratories in the Philippines. So aside from your AO 2001-0037, you should also search for this administrative order, no? Check kung ano yung mga nakapaloob dito so that you can compare the certain changes from the original 1966 clinical laboratory law down to the latest kung ano yung application niya today. Okay? So for the objective po ng ating clinical laboratory law, no, new guidelines in the licensing and diagnostic clinical laboratories in the Philippines, no, is to ensure accountability of the laboratory on generation of accurate, precise, and reliable laboratory results. So always yun sila magkakasama, guys, no, ang APR. Okay? Accurate, precise, and reliable, no? Kahit sino naman siguro, we want accurate, precise, and reliable laboratory result, no, in a timely manner through continuous compliance. Okay, so it is said here that every laboratory, no, mapamodern man or kahit yung mga ginawa ng mga nakaraan, functioning pa din ngayon, no, they are continuously check, diba, kung they can still deliver accurate, precise, and reliable laboratory results. Okay, so there are certain things that you need to know, no, yung mga certain governing bodies, okay, such as your HFSRB, the Health Facilities and Services Regulatory Bureau, no, which sets the standards for the regulation of clinical laboratory. So pagtanungin kayo, sino ba ang set ng standard? Ito siya. Okay, Health Facilities and Services Regulatory Bureau strictly enforce, no, the provisions of this order, disseminate regulatory policies, standards, and forms, respond promptly to complaints. So whatever, again, if there are certain situation po that your laboratory na pinag-anuhan ninyo, no, pinagpatestan ninyo with your ng parents niyo or kayo mismo, if you found some discrepancies or some pangit na service show, okay, itong HFSRB will be the one to respond to your complaints. Okay, we also have the Center for Health Development, the Regulatory Licensing and Enforcement Division, the CHD RLED. Okay, they are the ones who strictly enforce the provisions of this order, submit quarterly report on suspension, revocation, cease and desist order issued on clinical laboratories, and they also respond promptly, no, to complaints. Okay, so tawag yan, iba-iba sila ng mga tawag yan, ng mga functions, no, but they are under one order. Okay, we also have yung tinatawag natin the National Reference Laboratory, which provide laboratory reference referral services for confirmatory testing. So we have different types of NRLs, guys, no, National Reference Laboratories. Para saan yan siya, sir? Let's say for example, yung meron tayong mga certain tests po na gina-request ng doctors, no, that your laboratory can only do the screening procedure, and then if the patient is found to be positive for that screening test, then para as a guideline, no, that screening procedure or that sample that has been done, the screening procedure will be transferred to the National Reference Laboratory for confirmatory. Okay, ginapa ano yun siya, guys, ginapa confirmatory na siya. Okay, so every laboratory test, no, lahi na siya reference laboratory. Okay, so For now, you also need to remember that the NRL, aside from doing the confirmatory testing, no, as well as reference, they also train laboratory personnel and recognize other training institution. I myself, I am a certified drug analyst po. So I've been trained by the EAMC, no, the East Avenue Medical Center, no, that is yung ating training laboratory for drug testing, no, to become a drug analyst. Okay, so they also perform technical evaluation of reagent and diagnostic kits, as well as maintain the National External Quality Assessment Scheme, or the NEQAS. So itong NEQAS, guys, no, I think I have mentioned it before, that every laboratory needs to undergo NEQAS to ensure that the capability of that laboratory is up to standard, no? So ang National Reference Lab, they will send specimens sa different laboratories in the Philippines po, and they will collate who among those laboratories are performing to the standard po. Okay, if the laboratory fails the NEQAS, then therefore the laboratory may be subjected to yung ipa-close, no, ipasarado. Okay, so these are the different NRLs in the Philippines, no. I want everyone to take a look at this, no. We have the RITM, the Research Institute for Tropical Medicine, Lung Center of the Philippines, NKTI, the National Kidney and Transplant Institute, the East Avenue Medical Center, as what I've told you before. No, I've been trained by the AAMC, no, in the drug testing po. We also have the Philippine Heart Center. Itong QC, guys, these are the location, no. You have Muntinlupa for the RITM. For the Quezon City, ito sila. As well as we also have the San Lazaro Hospital, no, STD-AIDS Central Cooperative Laboratory, yung tinatawag natin na SACL. Okay? Yan. San Lazaro SACL man na siya. STD-AIDS Central Cooperative Laboratory. So ito siya, guys, no, if a medtech performs HIV screening and then the patient is found out to be HIV positive in that screening procedure, dili na siya agad-agad maingon na HIV positive yung patient. The patient will undergo confirmatory testing pa in the San Lazaro Hospital. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic, no, which is yung ating NEQAS. Okay, for the NEQAS, you have the National External Quality Assessment Scheme. Okay, it is an internal quality assessment program activity conducted by the National Reference Laboratories, no. Gaya na nabanggit ko, it is to assess the quality and performance of and accuracy of the results of the laboratory. Participating clinical laboratories are given unknown samples for analysis. Quality of performance shall be assessed through the closeness of the result to the predetermined value or reference value generated by the participating clinical lab through peer group analysis. So, ibig sabihin, may mga samples po na ipapadala sa atin sa different laboratories, no? And imamatch yan po. Imamatch yan kung how close the values of each laboratory with each other, as well as gano'n siya ka-close sa reference laboratory. Ingana siya, guys, no? It can be NEQAS for clinical chemistry, parasitology, microbio, no? Daghan na siya, guys. Halos all sections in the laboratories are pinapadalahan po ng NEQAS. Okay, so another body that you need to know is the Department of Health. Okay, so the Department of Health issues, no, the license to operate. Okay, dili na siya LTO na land transportation, no. When we say DOH LTO, it means DOH license to operate. So this is a formal authorization issued by the DOH to an individual, partnership, corporation, association, or any government agency unit seeking to perform laboratory tests in compliance with the requirements prescribed in this order. So it means that the DOH are the ones who will issue, no, the license to operate para maka work yung laboratory, para magamit siya, no. Kasi without the license to operate, guys, no, and you are found out na nagpa-laboratory kayo, or you're doing laboratory test procedures, you will surely be closed down, diba? And kakasuhan talaga kayo because you don't have the license to operate. So So again, you'll know later, no, how can you have the license to operate, but in order, before you can get your license to operate po from the DOH, you need to undergo the permit to construct. Okay, so before tayo magkaroon ng laboratory, kailangan na po kayo permit to construct. Okay, so this is a permit issued by the DOH through HFSRB or the CHD RLED to an applicant who will establish and operate a hospital or other health facility upon compliance with the required documents prior to the actual construction of the said facilities. For example, dito sa SPC po, we are now tawag yan, in the final stages po ng ating laboratory dyan na gina-construct, no? So meron po tayong permit to construct na from the DOH, nakuha na tayo ng permit to construct. Ibig sabihin, ang next niyan, if maayos na yung laboratory dyan, we will file for the, yes, correct, license to operate. Okay, so remember that the PTC is also required for substantial alteration, expansion, renovation, increase in the number of beds, transfer of site, or for additional services, no, such as add-ons na yun, beyond the service capability. So it means kahit na itayo ng laboratory, let's say for example, you acquire a PTC for this type of laboratory, no, let's say level 1, then you decided to move to level 2, you need to acquire again a PTC for a level 2. Magets ninyo? Okay, so yan yun siya guys, no. And remember, after ni mag-acquire ng PTC again for level 2, you need to acquire again a PTC, a license to operate at this level na. Okay, ganun siya guys, no. Hindi siya basta-basta ka nang ay mo upgrade na ko ana mag-additional na may dili siya guys, no. You're only allowed to do the test that you initially applied for. If there are certain changes po, kailangan po siya mag-undergo ng due process. Okay? So, meron din tayong tinatawag na mga mobile clinical laboratory. These are a laboratory testing unit capable of performing limited, or remember the term limited, clinical diagnosis procedures such as your urinalysis, fecalysis, pregnancy test, and basic serologic rapid test, no? And collection of specimen. So, ito siya guys, ang mobile laboratory, they are the ones na kanang marag mo adto sa lugar, no, the vehicle itself contains the laboratory, no. Pupunta kayo sa mga lugar-lugar and then doon kayo mag-perform ng laboratory procedures, but remember limited lang siya ha. You cannot do complex procedures sa mga areas na yon. Okay, so it should be limited lang. So ako dati guys, I've been working sa clinical laboratory din. I have worked, no, sa clinical laboratory for quite some time, no, to the point na niabot mi og Cebu. Okay, so I will not divulge kung anong clinical laboratory, anong agency yon, but it's one of the best experience, my best experience so far in the mobile. Okay, aside sa bayad ako per day, no, wala lang, lingaw mong kay lahi-lahi na lugar. Okay, so here in the mobile clinical lab, no, there is the movement from one testing site to another, no. So kapag merong testing site to another po, you need a MOA. Okay, a memorandum of agreement na siya guys, no, within the same region at maximum of 100 kilometers radius from the address of the DOH license clinical lab. So ibig sabihin guys, no, pwede lang ninyo puntahan, let's say for example sa Buhangin, okay, yung primary lab talaga ninyo. If yung inyong guys, no, meron siyang mobile laboratory, ang area lang na pwede niyang mapuntahan, no, is a 100 kilometers radius. Okay, so 100 kilometers lang ang pwede niyang maximum po na if ever na kanang layo na jud ka ay, like for example in my case nakaadto namin sa Cebu, nakaadto namin sa other place, kailangan na namin mag-secure ng MOA. Okay, so dili rin basta-basta pwede guys na mobile laboratory lang yung ipatayo ninyo. Hindi siya pwede, no. You need to have a DOH licensed clinical lab as your main laboratory. Okay, so that is for the mobile. Magkaiba yan ha, magkaiba ang mobile laboratory sa inyong main laboratory. Okay, para magkaroon ka ng mobile lab, you need to have a main laboratory. Pero okay lang magkaroon ka ng main laboratory kahit wala kang mobile lab. Okay, So, meron din tinatawag na satellite clinical laboratory. This is an extension of the main clinical lab located within the facility's compound or premises. Shall have the same services capability as the main laboratory. So, I think this is very understandable, no? Let's say, for example, malaki talaga yung hospital ninyo. Tapos, ang hospital ninyo, no, meron siyang tertiary laboratory. It can also have a satellite clinical lab. Okay, na within the compound lang po, within the area. So dili siya ma-consider as a mobile because hindi naman siya na gumagalaw, no? Yang separate area lang talaga sila. Like for example, dyan sa PMC, no, aside from the JICA laboratory, meron din silang ER, no, ER laboratory. Meron din silang mall bio, meron din silang blood bank lab. So lahi-lahi siya but in the same compound. Okay? So that is for the laboratory. Meron din tayong tinatawag na physician's office laboratory. So, this is a doctor's office po or clinic na kung saan yung clinical lab examinations are performed for the purpose of monitoring lang ha, monitoring the doctor's patients only. Okay? It is again, a type of clinical lab to which the examinations are performed for the purpose of monitoring the doctor's patients only. It means there is no official result, no, na ipapaano ni doc. Parang kumbaga, let's say for example, yung clinic na pasukan mo, meron silang on-site na CBC. Tapos magpapang CBC ka doon, makita ni doc yung result no real time. Tapos yun, no, aside from that, pwede po siya na kanang physical exam, no. That is an example of a laboratory po. Okay, the physician's office laboratory within the premises of DOH regulated facility shall be under the supervision of the clinical lab. If nagkataon po that the POL or the physician's office laboratory is within, no, within the compound of the hospital, okay, so it means that it is under the supervision of the clinical laboratory. It means mag-supervise doon is yung main branch na clinical lab. Okay? So, remember that. Pero kung kanang, let's say for example, yung physician, sir, nagtayo talaga siya ng laboratory na hindi within the premise or under sa kanang clinical lab po na may main branch na malaki. Nag-decide lang talaga si doc na magtayo ng clinical, ng physician's office lab. Is that possible? Yes po. That is possible, no, provided that yung mga test na i-perform ni doc, no, is hindi siya mag-require or mag-release ng official result, no, purely for monitoring lang talaga ang purpose. Okay, we also have the point of care testing. Okay, the POCT. This is a diagnostic testing done or at the near the site of patient care rather than in the clinical laboratory. Maybe in emergency room, operating suites, no, wards and ambulances. When I say point of care testing, guys, no, it is the actual testing in the area, not in the laboratory. Okay, in the area. Let's say for example na ER si patient, tapos need niyo i-test agad yung sugar niya. That is already considered a point of care testing kasi nga the test is done not in the laboratory, no, but rather in the area. Okay, in the area to which nag-occur yung situation. For example, aside from yung ka na mag-check ka ng glucose, ano pa ba ang pwede na i-point of care testing? Let's say for example, mag-check ng yung tinatawag natin na ano po, ABG. It can be done on the on-site po, no, sa area mismo kung saan si patient. Okay? So, aside from this, no, we also have the referral test. No, this is clinical laboratory tests that are either sent out or outsourced to other DOH licensed clinical laboratory. So, mapapansin niyo, lahat ng clinical lab, no, it should be DOH licensed. Dili pwede na dili siya DOH license with the same or higher service capability, no, needs MOA. Okay, ganito siya. Kapag ang laboratory ninyo is gusto, no, merong doctor doon na gusto magpa-test na, let's say for example, magpa-test sila ng leukemia panel, no, leukemia panel. Okay, leukemia panel, these are yung mga CD4, yung nga na. So, CD4, CD12, no, daghan na sila guys, no, na test. Let's say the laboratory itself cannot perform this test because they don't have the capability, but they have a patient who is who needs this test. Okay? So, pwede kukunan ng patient ng dugo or blood sample sa laboratory ninyo, and then you will send the sample out to different laboratory na it's either with the same or higher service capability sa inyo ha. Usually kami sa MDMRC, nag-send out kami ng mga sample sa St. Luke's, no, yung sa Manila. But daghan na siya i-prepare ng mga documents, no, such as itong MOA. And then your hospital should have a MOA with that particular laboratory or hospital na kung saan niyo i-send yung sample niyo. Okay? So, these are the following cases to which this is permitted only. If the laboratory test to be sent out is not part of the service capability, tama, no? Bakit ka mag-send out kung meron naman kayo, di ba? Of the referring laboratory, if referral laboratory test is part of the contingency plan. So, gaya na sinabi ko, if it is really needed by the patient, then you can send out po sa different laboratory. Magets ninyo. So, I hope na-gets ninyo, no? So, sino mag-prepare ng mga papers na yan, yung mga MOA na yan, no? Ang nag-prepare niyan, guys, is usually kung sino yung assigned sa section. Like, for example, ako sa clinical chemistry dati, lagi ako nag-send out sa St. Luke, which is kapoy kaayo, dagan kay paperworks, tas napakay mga trabaho nimo sa laboratory, no? Aside from that, but okay naman. Kasi we are here to help the patient. Okay? So we have some general guidelines that you need to know, no? Such as all clinical laboratories shall secure the license to operate prior to operation, no? The head of the lab should be a pathologist, no? It can be a clinical patho, di ba? Clinical patho or a anatomical patho if merong histopath yung ating laboratory. Clinical laboratories for teaching and research, no, it should be registered with the HFSRB. All laboratory prices must be accessible as mandated by the Universal Healthcare Law. Okay? So, pansinin niyo ang mga price po ng mga mga tests, no, halos magkakaparehas sila. Although dili jud ka kaayo kaingon na ay overpriced na kaayo ni siya, no. Depende maguna siya, usahay nagiging overpriced ang test because the machine that they use are very advanced, 'di ba? But yung para sa mga guys, no, sa mga normal na like yung mga secondary lab dito sa Davao, ng mga freestanding laboratory dito sa Davao, halos magkakapress man ng presyo niyan because it is under or mandated by the Universal Healthcare Law. Okay? So, I think we know now, diba? Ang first na i-secure is the yung first is-secure before you can get the license to operate, the permit to construct, no? The PTC, permit to construct. After that, you need to acquire the LTO. Okay? Para magkaroon ka ng laboratory. Okay? So, if merong changes sa laboratory mo, you need to acquire again, permit to construct, then LTO again, then happy na po kabalik. Nga na siya. Okay, so there are certain classifications of laboratory, no, according to the ownership. It can be government or private. Based on the institutional character, it can be institution-based or non-institution-based. Okay, so let's take a look at the function of laboratories, no. Aside sa classification po natin ng ownership, institutional character, it can also be classified by its function. Okay, such as if the laboratory is a clinical pathology lab, no, chemical and cellular analysis of blood and other body fluids, identification and examination of microbes and parasites are being done or dealt with here. Okay, if it is for the processing and examination of surgical specimen as to the physical appearance and microscopic structure of tissue, it is an anatomic lab, no, or anatomic pathology laboratory. So, big sabihin, sir, kapag yes, ito na yung sinatawag natin na histopath. Yes po, if your laboratory meron siyang histopath, it is both clinical pathology and anatomic pathology lab. However, if the laboratory does not have histopath, it is considered only a clinical pathology lab. Okay, we also have the molecular pathology. It is the analysis of certain genes, proteins, and other molecules in sample from other organs, tissues, or bodily function based on the principles, techniques, and tools of the molecular biology. So that is for the molecular pathology. Okay, so if we deal with genetics na po yung laboratory, if nag-nga na sila, that is a molecular pathology laboratory. Okay, yung mga mol bio lab, yan sila. So remember, there are certain classifications ha. We have classification according to ownership, classification according to institutional character, classification according to function, as well as classification according to the service capability. Okay, for the service capability guys, no, we determine them, no, whether primary, secondary, tertiary, and special. Okay, para mas maintindihan ninyo, no, kung ano yung difference nila, I have a diagram here to which you can memorize, no, check kung ano yung mga nandito, diba? So nga na siya. You can consider it is a primary lab if it offers this test, no, ito sila. And then it is considered a secondary kapag meron itong mga test na to. Yan, meron silang capabilities ng lahat ng nasa primary as well as additional. Yan ang pasabot ana, no. Pag tertiary naman, meron silang capabilities ng lahat ng nasa secondary, pati meron pang additional. Okay, so tignan natin. This is for the clinical microscopy, clinical chemistry, no, lahi-lahi sila. As well as meron tayong special, no. If it is a special lab, usually the special type of laboratories are yung mga national reference laboratories natin, no. Because meron na sila mga tumor markers, hormones, trace metals, ingana. Okay? So, remember, this classification shall also apply to facilities offering DOH program related tests, no. Ayan. Hema, immunosero, yan, microbio, anatomic pathology. Remember, tignan ninyo. For the primary lab, there is blanco ang anatomic pathology natin. Okay? For the secondary laboratory, only the pap smear lang ang meron. Okay? For the hospital-based tertiary lab, dito na nagkakaroon ng histopathology and cytology. So, sir, for primary lab, okay lang ba yung pathologies namin is only a clinical patho? Yes po. Yes, sir. Pero pagdating na ng secondary, if the hospital or the laboratory performs this procedure, the pap smear, it should have a clinical and anatomical pathologies. Okay? So, clinical laboratory for anatomic pathology only provides services for any of the following but not limited to cytology and histopathology. Clinical laboratory for molecular pathology only provides services for genetics, immunohematopathology, and infectious diseases. COVID-19 testing laboratory shall be covered by another order. Okay, so the COVID testing lab is, again, another AO na pud na siya. Okay, so I hope na gets ninyo, no, kung saan siya nakalagay. Okay, so remember, we have different types of clinical lab, tama? So since we have different types of clinical lab, you as students should know how to classify. Okay, let's say for example, a laboratory is offering gram stain and QH. So therefore, kabalo ka, if kana lang jud ilang ma-offer, no, it can only offer those gram stain and QH, it can be a secondary laboratory only. Okay, secondary or a tertiary lab. Kasi the tertiary will have all the necessary tests na kayang i-perform ng secondary as well as additional, no. For the tertiary, pwede na kayo mag-culture and sensitivity Okay, so yan siya ang pinagkaiba nila. You need to understand ano yung meron sa isang classification compare sa other classification. Okay, so let's proceed sa next slide, the procedural guidelines. Okay, so we have the license to operate, which is an on-site assessment. If not fully complained, lab must comply with the deficiencies within 30 days. If not, application will be denied. If fully complained po, LTO will be issued. Okay, that's why it's really hard to apply for a operating laboratory. No, marami kang dadaanan guys, marami kang requirements na dapat ipasa, no, because within 30 days, if initial checking nila may mga kulang, within 30 days po dapat mabigyan ninyo yung kulang. Okay, remember din that the HFSRB, CHDRLED must be notified in writing in cases of change in management name, ownership, headship, or lab personnel. So, ibig sabihin, every changes in the laboratories, no, dapat merong written document. Failure to notify within 15 days shall be a basis for suspension or revocation of the license to operate. Okay? So, remember din that different branches of clinical lab, even if owned by the same entity, shall secure separate LTO. Let's say, for example, the drug testing. Okay? So, the drug testing lab is a different branch po ng clinical laboratory, no? Drug testing, newborn screening, HIV screening lab. Even if isa lang ang may-ari niyan, they need to acquire or secure separate license to operate. LTO must be placed in an area readily seen by the public, which is the validity of this is 1 year po, and it is renewed. Okay, you have the certificate of registration, the COR. It is required for research and teaching laboratories, and it is renewed every 3 years. Okay, kapag yung inyong laboratory is for teaching, for research, no, meron din yan silang COR. Okay, so there are certain prohibited acts or sanctions, no, na kung saan magkaroon ng problem tayo, no. It is the example nito is refusal to allow HFSRB, CHDRLED to authorize, no, personnel to conduct inspection or monitoring visits of the clinical laboratory at any appropriate time. So, ibig sabihin, if magbisita sila, you need to entertain, you need to cater them. Okay? If you refuse, no, you will be given sanction. Refusal or non-participation in the external quality assessment program, no, the EQUAP. If the laboratory has been tapped to participate, you need to participate, as well as absence of action to improve the unsatisfactory or failed EQUAP. If the EQUAP, guys, no, is failed, no, the first time, it is not automatically na ipasara ang laboratory mo. However, there are some ways that you can improve. Then for the next EQUAP, no, you can file again. Parang ganun siya, no, kasi nga ganito siya. If na-fail kayo sa EQUAP, there are some documents that you will be needed to submit, no? Para yung parang documentation po ng feeling nyo saan kayo nagkulang, yung mga ganun-ganon, yung mga ganyan ba, to check for improvement. And then sa next EQUAP naman, if same procedure pa din, no, then wala kayong pake na na-fail mo or something, no, you will be sanctioned po. Demonstrating incompetence or making consistent errors in the performance of clinical laboratory examination and procedure. So, ito siya na nangyayari. Ito siya, guys, na if there are certain cases filed against the laboratory, such as kanang nagkamali sila test, no? Nagkamali sila test ang medtech or ang laboratory itself is liable sa mga ganong bagay. Not just you na medtech doon, but the entire laboratory is magkakaproblema. Okay, deviation from the standard test procedures, including use of expired reagents. So this is very, very wrong. You never use expired reagents. If you know that the reagents are expired, you should not use them. Okay, we also have a sanction po na tinatawag natin issuance of a laboratory report without the approval of the head of the laboratory. That's why every laboratory report po na ma-receive ninyo, ba may result yan, let's say 2%, blah blah blah, meron talaga yung perma dito ni medtech, perma ni pato, meron talaga yung perma si pathologist dyan. Okay, so remember yan siya, no? Be it a digital signature or yung stamped signature, no, basta meron pong perma dapat ng pathologist. Okay, we also have transferring laboratory results done by another laboratory to the result form of the referring lab. So that is very wrong. Dili pwede na kopyahin nyo lang yung result ng ginawa ng referral lab ninyo. So that is very wrong po. Another, performing laboratory procedures beyond their authorized service capability. Gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, if there are some additional tests na kaya ninyong i-perform tas wala ninyo na file sa original na LTO ninyo, no, you need to file it again. If it is found out na you are doing this test without that appropriate LTO po, you will be sanctioned. Ano pa? Giving and receiving any commissions, bonus, kickback, or rebate, or engaging in any split free arrangement in any form whatsoever. So sa laboratory guys, no, dili jud pwede magpabayad po tayo sa ating trabaho na kanang halimbawa nagsabi ang patient sa inyo ha na kanang sir ano na lang ipasa na akong physical exam tas nidawat ka, no, that is a big no guys. Ako ilang beses na ako naka-receive ng ganyan na kanang tagaan good under the table, that is a no. Kahit nga yung sa patient po na let's say for example na nag-extract ka ng dugo sa kanila, tas wala lang, happy lang dyan sila kaya na nakakuha ka one shot lang, tas nagbigay lang sila ng pang merienda mo, bawal yun, bawal talaga yun. Or kanang ipaano ni mong laboratory na mo, let's say for example ipa-cater ni mo na let's say moingon ka sa isa ka school na dito niya na lang ipa-PE yung mga students ninyo, tas yung mga students kay magpabayad ang clinical laboratory ng murag additional kay ipapasa agad ang PE, so that is bawal talaga na siya. Okay, as well as no, you will be sanctioned if you violate no the provisions in the Data Privacy Act. Okay, so dili jud na siya pwede. Okay, so ano nga ba yung mga sanctions na yan, no? We have here, the first violation is the written warning, second violation is a 30,000 fine, third violation is the 50,000 fine, fourth violation is the suspension or revocation of LTO. Sir, okay lang man, 30,000 lang pala and 50,000 kaya pala yung bayaran ng ni admin. No. Okay, the moment na magkaroon ka ng violation guys, no, patuloy na, wala na siya i-reset guys, no, titignan talaga up until fourth violation ka lang. Pagdating mo ng fourth, no, it will be suspension or revocation of LTO. Okay, and there's some cases po na magkaroon talaga ng revocation, no, kahit na hindi ka pa nag-undergo ng first violation, and these are certain cases po. Let's say for example, permitting unauthorized or unregistered personnel to perform technical procedures and access to the laboratory records or data. That is a very big issue po. Kahit first attempt lang na, first offense lang na ninyo, that is subject for revocation na po. Lending or using the name of the DOH clinical licensed clinical lab or the head of the laboratory or any medtech of an unlicensed clinical lab, it can be subject to revocation. Unauthorized use of the name and signature of the pathologist and RMT to secure LTO, that is also a violation po, no, na magkaroon ka ng revocation. Bakit po? Because let's say for example, a certain clinical lab no wants to apply to have a license to operate and use other people's medtech kanang na PRC license with the pathology, kahit hindi naman employed doon yung medtech na yun and the pathologist, you will be subject for revocation, no? Hindi ka pa naka ano, let's say for renewal or kanang application lang, hindi ka pa nakaka-apply, revoke ka na. Okay, issuance of fraudulent laboratories results, tests not actually done, or inaccurate test result, that is also can be a subject for revocation ng LTO. But however, there is ano po ha, like yung sa ating 5527, it will undergo due process pa din. But sinasabi ko lang dito na if your kanang imuhang mga prohibited acts is most like under this, no, most likely it will be a subject for revocation po, most likely. Okay, change in the ownership, location, and head of the laboratory or laboratory without informing ito siya, no, it can be subject for revocation po. Any material false statement in the application of LTO, diba nga, that's why during LTO po, if there are license to operate application, if meron documents na kulang, diba, dapat mabigay talaga siya. Okay, and then we also have other provisions po, no, any persons who operate a clinical lab without DOH permit to construct, license to operate shall be issued as cease and desist order and shall pay the administrative penalty of 50,000 pesos. Okay? Kapag wala ka nito, ito, you will be given this one. Then, magbayad ka nito. Due process is during investigation is 60 days. No? Preventive suspension may be given to the CL. So, ibig sabihin, if merong problem po guys, merong kang na-commit na sanction or prohibited act, it will undergo due process talaga. Okay? And then, you are given 60 days preventive suspension, no? Para at least, no, pwede niyo mailaban or ano yung inyong case, no? There is also yung tinatawag natin na appeal, no? You can file a notice of appeal to the head of the health regulation team within 10 days after the receipt of the decision. The HRT head decision is appealable to the DOH secretary, whose decision shall be final and executory. So, ibig sabihin na, say, for example, nag-file sila, kasuhan kayo, and then you find that the case being subjected to you is unreasonable po kayo, parang ano talaga, yung feel nyo nasa tama kayo, you can always file an appeal po. Okay? And then, whatever the final decision po ng ating DOH Secretary, which is yan yung sa after sa appeal po, no? Pag nag-appeal ka kasi, ang magbigay ng final verdict na dyan is the DOH Secretary. Okay? So, and then kung ano yung decision niya, it is final and executory. Yun na yung masusunod. Okay? Remember din that CL with revoke licenses can only reapply after 1 year from the date of LTO revocation. If for example 2021 ka na revoke ang license mo, you can only file after a year, no? Sa 2022 pa, no? Kung na revoke 2021, next year ka pa pwede mag reapply. Dili po na guarantee na madawat na pagkabalik, no, to get your LTO. Remember din that any person or licensed to conduct clinical laboratory tests who issues false or fraudulent laboratory test results knowingly, willfully, or through gross negligence shall not be allowed to own, manage, operate, or be an analyst of a clinical laboratory. Let's say, for example, if a person po, no, kahit, alam ba, medtech po, kasi medtech are authorized or licensed man, di ba, to conduct laboratory tests. If ever that ikaw mismo na medtech, alam mo na hindi nyo gina-perform yung laboratory procedure na yan, and then you still release some result, no? Ibig sabihin, you know it, you are willfully doing it, di ba? You will be makakasuhan ka po. Hindi ka na papayagan na mag-own, mag-manage, mag-operate, or kahit maging medtech dyan sa laboratory na yan, or any laboratory po. Magets nyo guys. So kahit na yung sabi natin na mga joke ng medtech, no, na pag normal ang stool na pinasa, normal na agad yan, hindi nabasahin, mali yun guys, no? Pwede talaga yung kasuhan yan, no? That's why ako personally, I never joke around regarding that, no? Binabasa ko talaga always yung whatever sample ang no, nag-ihatag, basahon dyan ninyo, because what if yung giskip ninyo na sample na yun, though form yung stool or normal looking yung ihi, what if may sakit talaga siya, diba? It is a new disease na hindi pa na-discover. Magets ninyo? So there are certain things guys, no, that ties us medtech to the laboratory, not just medtech but also yung ating pathologists. Okay, so sa tingin ba ninyo yung mga pathologists sa laboratory, let's say for example sa amin sa MDMRC, yang ma-check pa ba yan nila Doc Grajeda ang lahat ng laboratory test na gina-release namin in one day? Wala. Pero meron silang perma sa result because they trust you as a medtech that you are doing your best, you're doing your proper job, no, to maintain the standard, the quality of the laboratory procedure that you are performing, no, to have a quality result. Ingana siya, no? Kaya hindi yan alam nila Doc, no? Yung mga ano dyan, nagperma lang talaga yan sila. Okay? Meron ka na ibang pathologist na hindi nila kilala mga medtech nila. Yes, may mga ganun guys, no? Na once a month mo lang makita. Pero ang perma nila nandyan sa'yo. Ginagamit mo yung perma nila, no? Meron yung name sa result. Because by law, dapat nandiyan talaga yung name ng analyst as well as the pathologist. Okay? So I hope you learn a lot here, and then ano ninyo, no, ma-correlate ninyo with the recent na AOs po. Okay? So thank you so much for listening, and have a great day, guys. No, bye-bye.